Onshape now natively exports URDF files for robotics applications. Onshape has always had very good mates for robotic applications based on the joint style way the mates are created. You can have name positions and limits in these mates. Now, when you export to the URDF format, you're able to provide not only the geometry in either GLTF or STL format, but the graphics and the mate information that will then be able to be driving your robot or other simulation software packages to help you with your robotics design applications. Here, it will export a zip file that contains all the relevant information that's needed for other applications, such as this one right here. This is an application called Robot Viewer, available as a SaaS application. And you simply load this information up, and you can validate that you have a robot with the mates and definitions. As you can see here, each of the mates with limits are being respected in here. This will work with many robotics applications, from open source to commercial applications that accept URDF formatted data.
Editing curves just got faster and more precise. With new enhancements to edit curve, you can now select and move multiple control points at the same time, making it easy to refine complex shapes in a single step. Need even more control? You can now move control points in UVN directions, giving you predictable, surface-aware adjustments exactly where you want them. The result is smoother edits, fewer steps, and better control when fine-tuning curves for downstream features. Whether you're dialing in aesthetics or making precise engineering changes, these updates help you edit curves with more confidence and a lot less effort. When surface quality really matters, details make all the difference. That's why the connection analysis tool now goes even further, adding support for G3 continuity. Designers can now evaluate higher order surface smoothness, catching subtle transitions that affect performance, aesthetics, and downstream manufacturing. This level of analysis helps teams identify issues and move forward with confidence. It's another step toward delivering the depth and rigor advanced design teams rely on.
Model-based definition dimensions now support min-max annotation style dimensions, here defined in a sketch, or you can define it at the model level from the drop-down list here. Simply choose the type of dimension you wish and apply it. With model-based definition, applying a linear dimension to something like a fillet radius may result in a tolerance that is a little bit too tight, because a linear tolerance is defined typically with a tighter tolerance than a fillet radius, right? So a new fillet dimension has been added. So if you decide to dimension to those objects, you get the correct tolerance by default when you're using an automatic scheme. Cross-highlighting has now been improved greatly in this release of Onshape. Notice as we make selections on screen, in the feature tree, or in the table, that the cross-highlight boldness in the table editor is bold. If I pick a part here in the parts list in the assembly, you notice how nicely it appears in the BOM view.
Designing in context just got more flexible. Until now, creating an in-context part studio meant you had to return something back to the parent assembly, even if the geometry created was not intended to be released with the assembly, such as fixturing. Now, you don't. With the new Create Without Inserting option, you can use an assembly for context, build what you need, and move on without forcing a part back into the assembly. This is perfect for things like weldment fixtures, or any design that uses assembly references but live elsewhere. Moreover, when the context is created but no part returned, the context can still be updated from the part studio. This can be done from the ellipsis dropdown. The results? Fewer workarounds, cleaner assemblies, and more natural in-context workflows.
While using the Measure tool in Onshape, you may need to capture dimensions relative to a different position or angle than the default coordinate system. New in this update from Onshape, you can now specify a reference coordinate system using a mate connector when performing a measurement. This will give you all of the measurements relative to both the position and the orientation of the selected mate connector.
New in Onshape simulation is a speed improvement that we've implemented with the solver technology behind Onshape simulation. In this case, we're running a stress analysis with inertial relief turned on for this cardan drive shaft here, and you notice that the image on the right is already complete. That's the new version of Onshape. The other prior releases would have still been processing. In this case, it's a 3x improvement. Render Studio projectors are a nice way to get the texture that you've created set to the proper scale of your 3D model. Here, we have copper added to this particular block, and of course, we have the ability to move that texture around using the projector options here, even the ability to scale them so they look a little bit better. But now there is an auto fit or fit to entities button, which enables the graphic to adapt to the shape of the image much, much better. Let's take a look at a powerful new lighting tool, the environment editor with lighting options. Go to the environment tab and you'll notice a new lighting checkbox. Here, you will notice that there are several options. One, presenting the actual HDRI environment that lights the Onshape environment by default. But you can see we can now add and move lights in that environment. These lights will interact with the HDRI information, and you can select from various quantities, such as different shapes, sizes, and colors. Here, let's apply a ring light and position it on the side of the driver's side door here and change the properties of the ring light without having to manually construct one. Here, you can place more than one light simply by selecting on the image, changing the light type. In this case, we'll put a rectangular panel over the side of the car here. And you notice as I move it around on the image map on the right, we see the result in real time on the main graphics area. Let's experiment with changing the color gel applied to the lights. And we'll apply a nice warm color gel here, adjusting the softness for the fall off of that light. That looks really good. All right. You also have options for changing the environment out completely as well and deleting all of these lights as well. Let's go ahead and change the base environment. Instead of using the HDRI environment, let's set our own gradient options. So now you can generate your own 3-color gradient schemes and monitor and change the color, as well as the tint and ground intensity. You also have options for moving the lights around in forward or backward in the scene. Let's set this as a solid color instead to have a nice simple gray background. Turn on a reflection, show our nice ring light off to the side here, and hit our final render button so we can get the final rendered image. I'm using Render Studio Advanced here, so I have the ability to export to a higher resolution image. In this case, an 8K image, and you can see the quality right here. Now, from the mobile app inside of a Part Studio, you can create a chamfer in a sketch. Two methods exist for creating chamfers, either by selecting a vertex point, which prompts you for both chamfer dimensions, or by selecting two adjacent edges. Now, from the mobile app, inside of an assembly, you can create a Part Studio and preserve the section view if it is active when creating the context state, enabling for better visualization of your assembly's current position when designing parts in context.